Seed Foundation's Urban Gardening Webinar Series. In this webinar series, we will teach you how you can grow your own healthy, nutritious food at home. My name is Joyce, and in today's episode, my colleague Kuya Bulak and I will be sharing how to grow fruiting vegetables at home. Solanaceae is mainly a tropical family of about 75 genera and 2,000 species. The more important vegetable genera are Solanum, potato and eggplant, Lycopersicon, tomato, and capsicum, pepper. They are warm season perennials. Cucurbitaceae, also called cucurbits or the gourd family, are a plant family consisting of about 965 species in around 95 genera, of which the most important to humans are cucurbita, squash, pumpkin, zucchini, some gourds, lagenaria, calabash, citrulus, watermelon, cucumis, cucumber and various melon, momordica, bitter melon, and lupha, rich gourd or patola. The plants in this family are grown around the tropics and in temperate areas. They grow best in the summer when days and nights are consistently warm. One reason why it's a good idea to know the family our crop belongs to is when we practice crop rotation. Crop rotation is the practice of growing different types of crops in the same area or container sequentially. It reduces reliance on one set of nutrients and the probability of developing resistant pests and weeds. For urban gardeners, we should change the crop planted in a container or bed at the end of the crop cycle to that of a different family. For example, if we start with leafy greens or pechay, after harvesting all the pechay, we will next plant tomato or eggplant in the same path. When it's time to replace the eggplant or tomato, we can plant beans or cucurbits, then go back to a leafy green. If you are an urban dweller or may have a limited space but you desire to grow crops belonging to Solanaceae and cucurbit family, consider available spaces in your home like rooftop, balcony or patio, wall, or even fence can be a perfect location for your vegetable garden. Wherever your available space or location, you have to satisfy these three: sunlight, soil, and water. Determine the light available in your area, as it can be dappled by buildings, nearby houses, trees, and others. Then, choose what to grow best. Solanaceae and most cucurbit crops need 6 hours or more of direct sun. Container size and soil requirement of the desired plant are main considerations in preparing the amount of potting media. Whatever soil mixes you have chosen for your container, it is necessary to remember important characteristic of potting medium: good water holding capacity, ability to supply nutrients, and free from soil-borne diseases. The illustration shown in this slide is the whole process one has to undergo should you decide to make your own soil mixture. The mixture should be loose but firm. You can refer to our webinar episode number 2 on how to prepare good soil for plants. Solanaceae and cucurbit crops are commonly sown in seedling containers before planting in a bed or large containers. In this way, less quantity of good sowing medium is needed. Additionally, the seedling roots grow individually and separately from their neighboring plants. At the right number of days after sowing, we are able to gently pull up the whole seedling and transplant immediately. This lessens transplant stress and ensures good continuing growth. In this photo are two kinds of seedling trays. One with 100 holes, the other with 128 holes. Use the smaller holes for smaller seeds, generally solanaceous, larger hole for larger seeds, generally cucurbit. We have here our two types of trays, 100 holes and 128 holes. We are going to sow Django dos, siling panigang, which has small seeds. So we will use the seedling tray with the smaller 128 holes. We will now fill up the seedling tray with our potting medium. Just spread the potting medium liberally over the tray holes. One easy way to compress the loosely spread potting medium is to place an empty seedling tray on top of the filled tray and press down. The seedling tray is now ready to receive the seeds, one seed per hole. The number of days before a seedling can be transplanted or days after sowing depends on the crop. Eggplant and pepper will take 25 to 30 days. Tomato will take from 18 to 25 days. Cucurbits from 8 to 12 days. We will now talk about how to care for your growing seedlings. Keep seedlings moist by regular water application, every day or even twice a day, depending on heat and sun. We need to do a balancing act with regards to water, as too much water may cause dumping off, which results in the sudden death of seedlings due to excess moisture. Spray weekly with fermented plant juice or FPJ to make vigorous seedlings. Protect seedlings from stray animals. Seedlings need 4 to 6 hours sun. We need to make sure the seedling get enough sun. Otherwise, there may be stem elongation as the plant looks for more sun. But if it's too hot, you can cover the seedlings with a mesh net. When it rains, cover the seedling with plastic or other materials. Hardening refers to getting the seedlings used to the place where they will eventually sit permanently with greater sun exposure. Gradually move your seedlings towards greater sun exposure before the transplant day. Cucurbits need 3 to 5 days adjustment, while solanaceous crops need 5 to 7 days adjustment. Solanaceous and cucurbit crops may be planted directly on the ground, but also do well in containers and pots. It is best to use a minimum 5-gallon container, particularly for cucurbits. Solanaceous can also flourish in a small container as shown in the picture. We need to cut off the top. We need to make some holes in the bottom of the container for drainage. We now fill the container with our soil medium. After watering the container and draining thoroughly, we are now ready to transplant a seedling. From the seedling tray, select a healthy seedling. Push the bottom of the seedling tray while gently lifting the seedling. Insert the seedling into the prepared hole in the soil. Add soil if needed. Press the soil around the transplanted seedling to remove air pockets and set it firmly in place. Water the topsoil. When watering your plant, consider the potting mix water holding capacity, the size and type of container, the plant's exposure to the sun, wind, rain, and the type of plant. Water deeply and thoroughly. Check the moisture level. The plants need to be watered when you stick your finger into the soil about 2 inches deep and if it feels dry. Water the soil not the leaves. Regardless of the potting medium, you will need to fertilize plants regularly, especially fruiting plants like solanaceous and cucurbits. When and what you fertilize is an important consideration. Plant nutrient needs change during the different stages of growth, and the plant may need more support to produce a continuous harvest. This is a summary of organic fertilizer concoctions. Our webinar episode number 3 can show you how to make these concoctions at home. All concoctions have to be diluted in water before use. A standard measure is 2 tablespoons per liter of water. These concoctions can be used weekly during the appropriate plant stage. FPJ is sprayed or drenched weekly from seedling stage to pre-flowering stage. Upon reaching pre-flowering stage, use Calpos. Upon reaching flowering to fruiting stage, use FFJ as a spray and drench the soil with FAA. When fruits are large and mature, you may drench with Calpos once more. OHN can be sprayed after the seedling stage throughout the plant's life cycle. Fruiting vegetable will benefit from the whole range of concoctions. Some plants need support so they grow straight and tall while fruiting. An example is tomato. The support is called a trellis. Most cucurbits need a trellis to spread out their leaves and also to support their fruits and keep this off the ground. If a trellis is needed, this should be installed when the plants are very small or newly transplanted, to avoid root damage during installation. Tomatoes, eggplant, and peppers will be happy with a single pole trellis. We will need 1 pole about 4 feet in length, some blue string, and a cutter. Insert the pole all the way through into the pot. The blue string is carefully tied to the plant base and to the top of the pole to guide plant growth. As the plant grows, loosely tie the emerging main stem to the pole or blue string. Tomatoes, eggplant, and peppers in a 5-gallon container will be happy with a simple 3-pole trellis. We will need 3 poles about 4 feet in length, some GI wire, and some blue string. Insert the poles all the way through into the pot. The poles are then tied together with GI wire around 1 foot high from the soil and again at 2 feet high for added support and stability. The blue string is carefully tied to the plant base and to one of the upper wire supports to guide plant growth. For the support of branches and fruits, wind blue string around each of the 3 stakes at 2 different horizontal levels, depending on the height of the stake. Do not let the string sag, but pull it tight before weaving it around adjacent poles. For cucurbits or creeping plants, and to support heavier fruits, we need a higher and more stable trellis. For this, we can use 4 long poles. We will also need GI wire, a saw, blue string, cutter, pliers, and measuring tape. We will need 4 poles of 6 feet in height. So we use a measuring tape and cut the poles with a saw. We now insert the 4 poles into a stable container. We then tie GI wire around the 4 poles in 3 layers, about 1 foot apart for added support. We will need some cross poles at the top to make our trellis more stable and provide more space for the plant to expand. Connect these to the vertical poles by means of GI wire. We will add blue string vertically and horizontally to give the side vines anchorage. Tie the plant at the base and attach the string to the upper poles to train the vine to grow upwards. Add blue string as a side trellis, anchoring the blue strings to the top. Twirl growing tendrils to the string and bamboo poles, or secure them with elastic ties until the plant climbs the trellis on its own. Keep the ties loose to avoid damaging the plants, and tie only woody or main stems, as foliage, fruit, and new shoots tend to break. Here are other trellising ideas you may wish to use. To get the most delicious vegetable from your home garden, you need to harvest them when they are at the peak of their flavor. For maximum flavor and best texture, vegetables belonging to solanaceous and cucurbit crops are harvested on full maturity. In the following slide, we will share maturity indices and other related information that will help you know the crops as well as the optimal time for harvesting them. Shown in the table are details for the solanaceous family: Fortuner eggplant, Diamante Max F1 tomato, Red Hot F1 hot pepper, and Sultan F1 sweet pepper. For best days, indicated is the optimal time to harvest them. That means days after transplanting. For cucurbit family, indicated in the table are information for Melody F1 Mas Melon, Pia F1 Kalabasa, and Mestiza Ampalaya. In this slide, there's a mention of bricks under Melody F1 Mas Melon. Brick scale is used to measure sugar level or the sweetness in fresh produce. Shown in the table are information for our cucurbit family: Mayumi Upo, Primera Patola, Megacy Cucumber, and Sugar Ball F1 Watermelon. Both solanaceous and cucurbit crops can be harvested on a weekly basis, some even twice a week. Just remember that harvesting these crops at the right stage will ensure best taste and quality of our homegrown vegetables. And here is our reward. After about 2 months from transplanting, we can harvest the fruit of our labor to share with our family. I'm sure a lot of you will agree. Happiness is growing your own vegetables and eating them. Thank you for joining us in this webinar series, and we hope that you learned a lot. For more guides in growing vegetable, you may visit growhow.eastwestseed.com. To learn more about Eastwestseed's vegetable varieties, please download CropWiki EWS app on Google Play or Apple App Store. You can now order high-quality vegetable seed online from the comfort of your home. Visit East West Seed official Lazada store today. Bye for now!